My name is Tad Howley, and I play Alto C in the ensemble. Instrument from Legend of Zelda, and you look up, I wonder if that's a real instrument, and found it and found some of David's videos. And so I'm one of the people that learned how to play the ocarina by staring at David for an incredible amount of time. One of my favorite things about the ocarina is how easy it is, and at least to get started. It requires no special embouchure. The fingerings, especially transverse ocarinas, it's a very logical pattern. So as long as you get the fingers covering the holes, that's about it. Just about anybody can play the ocarina, musical experience or otherwise. I think our varying backgrounds in Ocabanda kind of speak to that, because all of us have such wildly different backgrounds, and we all play together pretty much the same level, which is very, very cool. I got into Ocabanda because I worked an ocarina booth with David at MagFest many, many years ago. And I remember us having a conversation, because I think that was David's 10-year anniversary of being on YouTube. I distinctly remember the conversation because David was wondering, what do we do now? And I remember my suggestion was like, hey, you've made all these connections, let's use them, do something. Then he made an ocarina ensemble. I got asked to be in it, which I'm extremely thankful for. I think it might have just been because I was there at the time, because I'm the only person that doesn't have any social media presence at all. I am just a guy. Whatever we put on the YouTube videos on everybody's credits, it's like Twitter handles and stuff, and then nothing for me. I think for us specifically, a sense of community and family, very specifically to us, that I have not found anywhere else. And I think a lot of us feel that way. From a musical perspective, it's an incredibly unique ensemble, kind of because the instruments are so limited, and the way that the septet is structured between C and G, everything overlaps. And so it is a very unique way to arrange music, as everything kind of flows through the ocarinas in different patterns and different ways. It kind of lends itself to an ensemble that is the most connected that it can possibly be, because to a certain extent, we're just playing one instrument. It's just a lot of us are all working together on it. So it's given me a much different perspective on music from that perspective of us all being together and doing one thing. Our first meeting where we all stayed up till about 3 a.m., like the first day we all met each other, sharing memes in an Airbnb. And I remember that specifically because I'm somebody that doesn't do a whole lot of social interaction, and I don't have a lot of what I would call really close friends, or I didn't at the time. And the feeling of connection and inclusion was extremely unique to me in that moment, of just feeling like I belonged somewhere. And in that whole process, I think all of us kind of felt that to varying degrees, but that was the thing where one of the things being shared that night was the Dango Daikazaku meme, and replacing the slimes with different characters, and everyone talking about as that theme was looping over and over, it was, oh, that would sound pretty good for Ocarina Ensemble. And then we woke up the next morning and Jordan had written it overnight. He'd woken up before all of us had gotten up, because he doesn't need sleep, I guess. And there was just a full septet piece ready to go. And it felt kind of magical, because that piece, which has become one of our favorites, spawned out of us meeting together. Not anything fancy or no music theory skills, nothing. It was just us connecting as a family spawned that piece of music. And it's so cool to me. I think about that a lot. Because he was the first one awake. He woke up and we'd stayed up till 4 a.m. and then he woke up at 7. Yeah. And it was just, because I woke up and he was out on the porch of the Airbnb with coffee and a laptop. And I went out there and was yeah, I wrote this, it's done. I'm very much kind of outside the community at large. I feel like I'm not nearly as involved in a lot of the larger ocarina community internationally. It's this big grand thing, hearing about the ocarina outside of the country, how it's so much a bigger deal in Europe and in Asia. I know about Budrio and how significant it is as a city, and I've heard from all of the group, some of whom have gone to this festival multiple times, of how amazing and incredible it is. I'm not somebody that's been out of the country even more than once. Exactly once. I went to Italy with the symphonic band from Towson, so it was very neatly structured, and so I'm a little nervous about traveling out of the country for the first time by myself. It's a wild opportunity that I don't think I ever considered a real possibility. I think I've always viewed Ocabanda as we're here because we like each other and we like doing what we do. And that's how I approach a lot of my own music anyway. But the idea that we have hit a level of professionalism that the international community would be like, yeah, we want you to come to this festival and perform, is crazy in a good way. It's been a great and wonderful time. It's been about 10 years now. Truthfully, we haven't done too much recently. COVID, I think, kind of shot us in the foot a little bit because we're so separate, and we never really got back around to doing stuff regularly after that. But also, 10 years is a long time. All of us are very different people. We've, in some cases, we've grown up. Stephen was 18 when he joined up. He was going into college, and now he's a full adult, and he's becoming a huge name in the VGM scene all on his own. Jordan's a dad. I'm gonna be a dad pretty soon. Everybody's got stuff. And I think it's important to recognize that just because a thing is temporary doesn't mean it doesn't matter. And it doesn't mean that the loss of something or the end of something has to be tragic. It was still important, and it's something we're all gonna carry with us forever. So I don't look upon it with a sense of unavoidable sorrow. I look on it like we've done some incredible things together, and I will treasure these memories for the rest of my life. I've said the word family a lot, and that really is what it is. I think as far as having like a true sense of belonging and togetherness outside of like my own actual biological family, I don't think I've found a group that I felt as connected to deeply and personally as Ocabanda. There's an element where with all 7 of us, even like individually, in some cases, there's a connection there that we feel when we hang out, but when we're playing music, I feel it. The way that Ocarina Ensemble works, where you're all connected as one unit, the connection there is indescribable unless you've experienced it yourself. And that feeling is something that I've held on to for a long time, and has changed me as a person to know that kind of feeling exists, and it's something that can be found.